Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the first episode of the Lore World Canon Cast, which is a new podcast I wanted to start where I go over the canon and lore of the Jurassic Park series. This podcast is just something that I wanted to throw together in light of the new movie Jurassic World Rebirth, which looks to completely shake up all what we've known of the canon so far. Um, I myself, as people out there know in the Jurassic fandom, have had a first-hand experience working with the filmmakers on the last three movies, helping to shape the timeline and canon of Jurassic. Um, and what we wrote and stuff went into franchise handbooks and went out there into the wider world. And so Jurassic World Rebirth represents a very interesting movie from my perspective for two major reasons. One, because I worked on the last three movies, I got to know what was going to happen in those movies well ahead of time. Um, Whereas with Jurassic World Rebirth, this is the first time since 2001, since Jurassic Park 3, that I'm going into a film not knowing what the plot really is going to entail. And I have to be honest, that is really exciting. I've had this like part of me that's my inner child has come alive with the build up to Jurassic World Rebirth. And I speak for almost every fan out there when I say no one thought we were going to get a film this quick after Jurassic World Dominion. But here we are. We're about, what is it, a month and a bit away now from the release. And yes, tonight, or today, should I say, trailer 2, the big trailer for Jurassic World Rebirth, released. I have not watched it yet. You're going to be getting my reaction on this podcast, and then I can talk a little bit about my thoughts on it, and I guess any lore details they reveal in this trailer. These podcasts aren't really going to have a set schedule or schedule. Um, I'm just sort of doing them on the fly because I recently moved in real life, um, and that's why the Pterodome has gone missing. And I've been concentrating on trying to do these Jurassic shorts to keep the channel alive while I'm busy retooling and getting used to a completely new way of life. Um, yeah, we moved house, and I've just recently, within the last couple of weeks, got a brand new job, which is a full-time job. Don't worry, it's to do with dinosaurs, but I don't really want to go into the the ins and outs of all that at this time. Um, But yeah, that basically means I've my whole schedule is upended. So that's why there's probably been a lack of videos. So I thought, how can I get videos out in an easier way when I've got the time? And I figured I'd do this sort of podcast. So I'm hoping to have people come on in future episodes. I can't say when they will drop. They'll just drop when I have time to do them. But I thought a podcast about the lore and canon of Jurassic would be quite interesting to tackle, considering one, my personal uh, relationship to the Jurassic canon, and also just how interesting and crazy the Jurassic canon is in general. And so, yeah. Anyway, on to the main event. I've now got Jurassic World Rebirth trailer 2 up on my TV. I can see the thumbnail. Oh my god, that is a T Rex looking at them on the boat in the thumbnail. That that is definitely a male tyrannosaur, right? They've taken the male tyrannosaur model from the end of Dominion, I feel, and retooled it for. Oh no, just don't start playing in the thumbnail. Um, they've retooled the male tyrannosaur model for this, I feel, because at the end of Dominion they used the original CGI model of the male T Rex for the two T Rexes that you see at the end of that film that meet up with the main tyrannosaur. Um, yeah, so it's just the square jaw and everything that really looks like uh, a male T Rex, which would be really cool and a nice change of pace after the last three movies. Anyway, I'm going to make sure the volume's up. I'm going to watch this trailer. Here we go. Three, two, one, let's go.
too. 2 dozen species have survived there alone.
The theme park owners did experimental work,
Oh,
leaving only the worst ones here.
oh my God. God, they're showing a lot of the river sequence. Maybe too much of it. Oh my word.
Don't
Holy
see that every
moly.
day or ever.
Let's go.
If we get this DNA, millions of lives are saved.
Maybe we should make this quick, huh?
Oh
Time
my
to move.
God. This looks awesome.
We put ourselves in a place where we don't belong.
Oh my word.
Survival is a long shot.
Someone's
That's
dead
kind of our
hand.
specialty.
She's scared.
The
She's
Equilops.
scared though. Come on, run!
We're not gonna let you get hurt, okay?
Oh, Mutadons.
Hey!
Then was a source. We found it?
No, it found us.
Holy moly. Wow. Oh my God, there's a lot to digest there. Okay, for starters, no, don't start playing. For starters, let me put it on. Right, I'm gonna pause it and go through it. But oh my God, initial first thoughts, right? The Mutadons in the Empire article, they mentioned that the Mutadons were going to be feathered, and by judging by this trailer, they're not. So I have no idea what's going on there. But anyway, I'm gonna start right from the beginning. This looks insane, this movie. I'm going to turn it right down because I don't want to have the noise playing over the top. I also want to add a caveat for those that know me out there. Usually, when it comes to films I'm super excited for, I'll not watch the trailers after trailer one because, I don't want to be completely spoiled. I am definitely, after this trailer, not watching anything else because that was very visual heavy. Now, I know the movie is 2 hours, 14 minutes, so it's going to be a long movie. So there's obviously a lot they're not showing. I feel like they're still keeping the lore details very hidden. Although I think Scarlett Johansson said something at the beginning about, the people working on the theme park have been doing genetic experimentations, and I'm hoping that that means Jurassic World, not Jurassic Park. I know David Coep in the Empire article talked about how the Distortus Rex and the Mutadons were the result of them, on the road to the Indominus or whatever. But obviously, they also said that the Mutadons were feathered, and they don't look feathered according to this trailer. So I don't know what's going on there. Yeah, let me just start this. Let's have a look. So we've got an InGen lab. Can I? Yeah, really bright white. It almost looks like the Biosyn lab. And there's something in the top right hand corner in a tank already, which I'm guessing is one of those failed experiments. But I feel like this is literally the. Uh, I mean, this could be 90s. I'm now looking at it. I'm like looking at that computer screen. That is a thick computer screen. That's a big monitor. That's not a thin monitor. And there's all buttons. Yeah, it all looks very retro looking in its aesthetic, like 70s. There's the D-Rex sign on the side. They lock that poor guy in. I wonder why the door was wide open. And one of the interesting aspects of this, visually at the moment, and one of the questions I have is why are they in these suits? I feel like the Distortus Rex is almost like radioactive or something. There's something going on with it. And that might have links to why, the dinosaurs are all dying off. Now, they've got this chamber here and it says Mutadon IR. Is that what that says? And it's a two-headed Mutadon. Now, in the first trailer, it was a two-headed raptor. So initially, I'm a bit like, oh, okay, two-headed Mutadon. I preferred the two-headed raptor. That looked visually cool. But I guess maybe they've gone for this because the two-headed raptor looked like too perfect. It looked too much like a raptor, whereas this definitely looks more monstrous. Um, and there's the T-Rex. That looks amazing. Somehow feel like some of these effects aren't finished yet. So yeah, I kind of don't really want to watch the river raft scene too much. I'm looking away from the screen right now because I don't want to stare at it. I'm not going to watch this trailer religiously. It's only for the purpose of this, because I wanted to. Basically, I wanted to give you guys the first episode of the lore world. Uh, my reactions to this. I'm so curious when it comes to the lore about where this island fits in. Now that is a lot of titanosaurs. Holy moly, that's a lot. Why are there so many titanosaurs here? I thought there was only going to be like a few of them, but there's like this insane herd, and they are massive. Obviously, we've got the Quets. And there's an ancient temple in the mountainside. I wonder if, again, in the lore, if they're going to mention anything about who built this, or you know, maybe some of the history of the island, or maybe it will just go unmentioned, and they'll just go in there and it will just be sort of like visual aesthetics for this cliffside nest. It does look like a fun Indiana Jones-esque type sequence. Now, what's going on with this helicopter? And there's a dead person's hand holding a pistol hanging out. Something tells me Krebs is going to grab that pistol because they talked about him having a pistol in the Empire article. So I wonder if he's going to take that pistol. Um, yeah, definitely something went down with that helicopter. I'm assuming it's when the Distortus escaped back in X year. Uh, Now, who's this firing a flare? That looks like Jonathan Bailey's character, and is that the Distortus in the background? I can't tell. Oh, this looks cool. And there's the Distortus Rex looking insane. It also does. It does. I do. I know it's kind of illogical, and I know they based it on it's inspired by a xenomorph and a rancor and all that. But I do kind of wish that Distortus Rex didn't have eyes. Like a xenomorph. But maybe they were just like, this is you know, too. It would be too much like the xenomorph if it didn't have eyes. But hey, they're winning me over with this design. When it was first released, I was a bit hesitant because it looks like something completely. It looks like something that shouldn't be in Jurassic, and I think it's mainly because of those two massive arms it has on the side, which you know, there's some people out there who complain about the teeth of the Indominus. When 65 came out, they said all the dinosaurs had like the V Rex's teeth from Peter Jackson's King Kong and the Indominus, and that this like design trait was cross pollinating across different dinosaur genres. And I feel like that the sort of big gorilla-esque arms with the upturned toes that it walks on the knuckles is one of those traits as well, because it was in like Cloverfield, it was in Mutos from Gareth Edwards' Godzilla, um, it was in John Carter with the albino apes, and now we've got it with the Distortus Rex. And I kind of felt like there was some sort of design element that they could have changed the way its sort of limbs looked. Which I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt when it comes to the final film, because I'm going to wait to watch the film before I fully judge. I mean, I'm looking at it right now. It's a paused shot of it roaring with a flare right in front of its face, and it looks insanely cool. Um, Monstrous, definitely the most monstrous thing in this franchise. This really does feel like the Jurassic Park 4 we didn't get back in 2005. All they have to do is throw in a bit of human DNA and we're there, you know. Oh, we're going to have a good look at the Mutadons now. Right, there's one. Yeah, they are not covered in feathers at all. What were they talking about when they did that article? I wonder if I can get it so I can pause on its face. I haven't seen their face yet, not properly. Ooh, I've accidentally rewind to the muted Distortus. Okay, I want to see a Mutadon's face. Let's try and pause on a face. Oh, oh, there we go. There's one. Yeah, it kind of looks like a raptor with a. They look nuts. I think they look a lot weirder than I thought they would look actually. Now this whole Mosasaur boat sequence just looks amazing. No complaints there from me on this. It just looks like the most fun ever. And I did, again, I refer to the Empire article where they said that they think that 1/3 of the film is set in the ocean. So I'm kind of hoping, if that's the case, that there's going to be like kind of a lot of discussion. And when it comes to the lore of this movie, here's my hopes for when the film is released and I go watch it. I'm hoping I sit down, and the fact that it's called Saga when it was made, and they're going back to supposedly 2010 is what's being toted, or it could even be further back than that. We're dealing with a lot of past stuff here that we haven't in other movies. The road to the Indominus is what's being floated. So if they touch upon the years between Jurassic Park 3 and Jurassic World, I do wonder how much they're going to touch upon the established lore that was set up previously. Um, I don't hope they get bogged down in it too much, if I'm honest. Like, because I think like what they're trying to do with this film is move on. Keep the franchise fresh and move forward. Um, and so I just hope that they obviously don't step on toes of like the previous movies. Um, like it would be nice to have some sort of nod to uh, the previous lore. Um, I'm not talking about like maybe lore that's from the extended media. I'm talking more like the lore of, you know, the what we see in 1986 in Dominion of Isla Sorna and them cloning dinosaurs back then in 1986, which was the supposed year the first dinosaur was cloned on Isla Sorna, which is part of the lore that we uh, added to Jurassic, which Colin Trevorrow added into Jurassic World Dominion. He didn't like have a character verbally say it, but for fans out there who know, 1986 was the most important year in terms of a successful dinosaur being cloned. I'm wondering if that will ever get mentioned or touched upon, considering these are meant to be, uh, the failures or anything like that. That's where I'm interested in where Rebirth is going. I would be very surprised, though. I say all that. I'll be very surprised if they actually mention anything, because it really does feel like they are. they're pressing forward and they want to, have a whole new beginning, a rebirth, as it were. Um, but yeah, so my thoughts on this trailer, I'm gonna obviously watch it a couple more times. I don't want to sit and really nitpick it because I want to keep a lot of the smaller details, um, you know, for the final experience of watching the film. Um, and obviously, a lot can change between even in a month because this trailer might be quite old. Um, I mean, like I said, some of the effects look like they might be updated from this trailer. Well, they definitely will be updated from this trailer to the final film and even then the Blu-ray release. Um, so I want to hold back on all judgment fully until watching the final film. But my God, this looks like fun. This looks like a lot of fun. And yeah, so I guess I'll record another one of these at some point. I'm hoping to get one with a guest on before Rebirth is released. But if not, you'll definitely get one after Rebirth's release because I've booked holiday off work so I can actually go watch the film a number of times and then spend the next day, uh, recording my thoughts on the movie and how it relates to everything that we've known previously and what it means going forward. So anyway, I hope you guys have enjoyed listening to me waffle on. Yeah, excited. I'm really excited. This is awesome. Jurassic Park Rebirth. That's what they should have called it, right? Jurassic Park Rebirth, because they keep hammering home that it's the research facility for the original Jurassic Park in the trailers. Um, and it's gone back to sort of the island setting. They've moved away from what Dominion was setting up with the dinosaurs being global. Actually, on that note, before I end, I just want to say I'm also interested in how they're going to tackle that because they're going to have to address it in the opening of the movie. And I have a prediction that could be completely wrong that this Distortus Rex, these experiments that were on this island, the reason they need the specific DNA is not necessarily for heart disease, or even if it is, it's because something's leaked out of this island and it's specifically targeting dinosaurs and it's like killing them off. Um, and that's why they're, the agenda, they sell the characters, come to this island because we've got to, have a medical breakthrough. But really, what they're doing is they're going to the island because they want to try and find a cure for this disease, this like DX disease or whatever they're going to call it, um, that's killing off the dinosaurs and has jumped to humans and causing heart problems in humans. That's what I'm one. That's what I'm predicting. Could be completely wrong. Um, but because Poeb said that he'd read the Lost World novel and Jurassic Park for research, and obviously one of the big story beats from the second book, which never made it outside of marketing materials for the Lost World back in 1997, was the DX uh, disease, and now you've got this Distortus Rex, which shortened down would be D-Rex, DX, um, which would be the perfect candidate for the source of the for this virus. Maybe that's it. I don't know, but that's what I like. I love that I don't know. Going into this film is so exciting for me because, like I said at the start, it's been what 2001. Yeah, 24 years since I've gone into a Jurassic movie not knowing what's going to happen, really. And I'm going to be honest, in hindsight, this looks way more story driven and a lot more detailed than what Jurassic Park 3 was. So I have a feeling I'm going to come out of this one a lot more satisfied than I was with Jurassic Park 3 back in the day. Um, yeah, it is really exciting. And I just hope everyone listening, you're as excited as I am. Um, yeah, anyway, I'm going to end it there. Nearly 30 minutes. Perfect time. Anyway, I'm going to go edit this and throw it up online. So I'll speak to you guys soon. Hope you're all safe and be sure to subscribe to the channel and look out for my more of my Jurassic shorts. And I am working on my last Dino Defenders chapter that is still going ahead. It's just like I said, life's taking me on a big roller coaster at the moment. So, anyway, see you later, guys. Bye.